And welcome to stunning Charleston, South Carolina, where we are set for an absolutely terrific evening of footballing grandeur. It's the host, Charleston Battery, one of the top teams in the USL, the second division of soccer here in the United States, playing host to a team that, well, any European soccer fan will quickly recognize. It's English Premier League giants, the five-time FA Cup medal winners. It's the West Bromwich Albion under indefatigable manager Tony Pulis, one of the best in Europe. My name's Ryan Madden, and I have the absolute pleasure of being your host for tonight's matchup between the Battery and the West Bromwich Albion here at beautiful Black Bod Stadium in Charleston, South Carolina. A beautiful evening here in the Low Country as the sun sets and the teams take to the field. This is just the second time that the Battery have ever hosted a Premier League team, although they have had success in many of their international friendly matchups. The only previous English Premier League matchup coming against the Bolton Wanderers, the one-time Europa League semifinalists in 2010. Charleston Battery enter tonight's game with a familiar starting 11. You'll see Cooper in goal, Woodbine, Mueller, Ferguson, and Adajai along the back. Van Schaik and Portillo operating in a dual central holding midfielder capacity with Prince, Che patrolling the wings, Garbanzo operating in that number 10 role, the creative playmaker. And you know the name, Dan Kelly. He's the goal-getter, the number 9, the most dynamic player on the pitch for the Charleston Battery. Much to be expected of him. For West Brom, really interesting lineup takes the field tonight. Some very familiar faces. You'll recognize Jolyon Lescott, the former Manchester City defender, a staunch center back, very capable in the air and good with the ball at his feet. But perhaps the most well-known name on the field tonight is Darren Fletcher, the former Manchester City man, an absolute favorite of Sir Alex Ferguson on those big European nights at Old Trafford not too many years ago. And then, of course, the homegrown product, Berahino. He's an absolute goal scorer of the highest caliber, very exciting, and he makes his first debut, or his opening debut, for West Brom this preseason. So a lot to be excited about tonight. We're going to take just a break for a minute, and then we'll be back for kickoff. Again, I'm Ryan Madden. Pleasure to be your host for tonight's matchup. Stay tuned.
Hey, buddy. What's going on? When I'm in town, this is what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys watch it okay?
I do. I can watch it then. I can listen to you or listen to Andrew instead of people talking to me.
He can spot for me, too.
Well, the Queen has been saved, the anthem has been sung, and we are back here in Charleston, South Carolina. A famous Low Country author once said of this city, "It's a city so sweet it could give you a cavity." I tend to agree. A magnificent night here at Blackbaud Stadium, and you have to imagine that the butterflies are circling a little bit at the moment for these Battery players. What a special occasion for them to be able to take to the field with 11 of Europe's best players, or 11 of Europe's best players, excuse me. Again, including the likes of Darren Fletcher, Jolien Lescott, and Berahino. But I'll tell you what, the Battery are a team in fine form at the moment, resting second place in the USL East Division. One particular aspect of the Battery's team tonight to pay careful attention to is the triangle of Portillo, Chang, and Garbanzo. Should be a very dynamic, kind of creative trinity of players on the right-hand side for the Battery, who will line up tonight in a 4-2-3-1 formation. Of course, the two being Van Schaik and Portillo, who interchange in a dual kind of holding midfield capacity. But an exciting night of soccer on hand. We're just minutes away now from kickoff here at Blackbaud Stadium. You can follow the Charleston Battery on Twitter at @CHAS_Battery. And of course, you'll be very familiar with West Brom, who are now just about 3 weeks away from opening their Premier League campaign. An interesting dynamic heading into tonight's matchup. Although you can see you'll see the gap, the gulf in talent and class, perhaps between the second division here in the U.S. and the English Premier League. Perhaps the great unifier of tonight's match is the form and the fitness in which these two teams enter the match. Charleston Battery more than midway through their season now on a good run of form, while this West Brom side coming off 2 preseason losses in Austria this past week. Yet, like I said, still almost 3 weeks away from their first match. So if there's an advantage for the Charleston Battery tonight, it's in that. It's in their fitness. It's in their preparations. But make no mistake, they're going up against a very, very good team this evening, the 5-time FA Cup medal winners, West Bromwich Albion. And here we are about to kick off here at Blackbaud Stadium, where it's the Battery and it's West Brom. And for just the second time in the Battery's history, we are off and running at Blackbaud Stadium against a Premier League team. What an incredible evening of soccer we should have on hand, as an early whistle goes against the Battery. Of course, you see that familiar face of Darren Fletcher, lying just outside the midfield circle. An absolutely tremendous player for Manchester United for so many years. It's good to see him healthy again after battling what was quite a severe case of gastrointestinal disorder. Provides a lot of steel in the midfield, sharp in his passing. The type of player who may go unrecognized to the common eye for long portions of a match, but he's in there, he's doing the dirty work. And tonight he's wearing the captain's armband for Tony Pulis. Pulis, of course, a manager with a reputation of doing big things on a limited budget. The former Bournemouth defender began his coaching career under Steve McLaren and Harry Redknapp. You can see what they were trying to do there. The idea was right. Ball just a little heavy, goes out of bounds for a Battery throw. We're here at Blackbaud Stadium, and many of you will know this is the first soccer-specific stadium ever built in the United States, and what a beauty it is. Such a treat for us here tonight to have this English Premier League side on hand. You can see the diehards off in the bottom right corner waving their flags. The smoke will soon rise from the trash cans as they beat their drums. A wonderful atmosphere. on an absolutely sparkling evening. Former England international defender. Set to take the free kick. Chested down well as the battery will look to break. Get your first look there at Portillo. What a player he's become, an absolute standout for this squad. Fantastic player, number 20, the midfielder. Flicked on there by Garbanzo, but the ball had already gone out. Ricky Garbanzo, 5'7" forward out of Rock Hill, South Carolina. Just 1 year removed from playing at Coastal Carolina. I got a chance to see him out at Patriots Point against the College of Charleston. Played on a very good collegiate team. Dawson. To Fletcher. Back to Dawson. Very good build-up play here from West Brom in the early goings. Oh, and that's clever inside the area. Oh! And I just have no idea how that ball managed to stay out of the net. At 6s and 7s in the back, some last-ditch defending just did the trick. Portillo gets pulled down. Surprised not to see the whistle not blow there. Chang takes his space in the midfield. Out to Dane Kelly. Kelly to Garbanzo. Garbanzo to Chang. Looks to whip it in, but there's no one in the area. Sean Ferguson wins the header. Ferguson, a huge prospect for this Battery team. Really fantastic center back. He's been very, very strong for Charleston. 6'4", also out of Rock Hill. You got to think that young man has an extremely bright future. It's very good work in the center of the park there from the Battery to win the ball back. They'll need to do that tonight as the ball gets played over the top and easily claimed by backup goalkeeper. That's Boaz Mile, who replaces Ben Foster, the former England international keeper who will be out for tonight's match. Really the only big name from this West Brom team that won't be playing tonight. As we've already talked about it, you'll see Lescott and Fletcher and Berahino all on the field. Not sure how long we'll get to see him, possibly just 45. And a reminder to those watching tonight that there are unlimited substitutions as this is a friendly match. And it's an interesting situation for the Battery, who have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity tonight to go up against an English Premier League side, but arguably have a much bigger match for the club tomorrow night against Wilmington. A huge matchup to stay in second place, sitting just 2 points above Richmond in the table, and still fighting for that USL East Division title. Parried out by the keeper as you see Dane Kelly. You get your first good look at Kelly as he gets out on the break. 5'11", 165 Jamaican with 10 goals and 3 assists in all competitions this year. Kelly with pace to give, very good on the ball, technical player. Oh, and that's class from Darren Fletcher. Such a talented player, Fletcher, as the ball gets sprayed out wide. And it's good defending there from the Battery, but it will be a West Brom corner. So you can see the fans there behind the advertisement boards. We've said it, but it is a tremendous atmosphere tonight here at Blackbaud Stadium. Such a wonderful place to bring the family for a night of soccer. Couldn't be in a more beautiful, more idyllic area. Daniel Island, just across the river from the peninsula. One of the most beautiful places on the planet. Fletcher heads outside the 18, gets it back. Whips in a ball to the far post. Julian Lescott with the back heel to Dawson. Dawson gets it in. And the ball's just touched out over the line for West Brom's third corner of the evening. It's been a little bit of one-way traffic so far, but that's not to be unexpected. Remember, this is a very high caliber, very high class English Premier League team. Very good ball into the box, headed just over. Finds the netting for a battery goal kick. In league play, West Brom, of course, known as a more kind of Route 1, a very direct team, but you imagine in these preseason games, they'll look to possess more than you would see them do in the English Premier League. They'll want to build from the back. They'll want to knock it around, get lots of touches. As Ferguson wins the header, you can see why he's so well regarded here in the United States. Just a very sound, very solid center back, up and coming here in the USL. It's well done from the battery as Kelly brings it down. Can't find the pass to Chang, though. That's Craig Gardner. Gardner, the only signee so far of the off-season transfer window for West Brom. Tony Pulis' team has been relatively quiet, yet to make the big splash. But again, that's what he's known for. They're not going to splash a lot of cash in the window. They're not going to go out and get the big names, but their team, and you can bet with Pulis at the helm that they're going to get results. Ferguson. Big ball down the line. Oh, and that's really well taken down. Oh, if he had a ball to play first time, something magical might have been on. He was forced to wait a little long, got caught between two minds, and the ball rolls out for a goal kick. It's a good statement of intent, though, for the Charleston Battery. Looking to get forward as often as possible against these European heavyweights. Darren Fletcher getting pulled back. The whistle doesn't blow, and you can see his chagrin. Having a conversation with the referee, absolutely befuddled as to why it didn't go, as Ferguson again battling so well with Anichebe. Anichebe, formerly of Everton, where he played his club ball under current Real Sociedad and former Manchester United manager David Moyes. That's really well done there from James Morrison. Cuts inside on the right foot, and the ball just sails high, wide, and handsome. You can see what he was trying to do, cutting in on that favored right foot. Wanted to wrap his foot around that ball, whip it in, send it up into that top right corner. But he doesn't quite hit it clean, and the ball goes sailing harmlessly into this warm Charleston night. A driving run into the midfield as Morrison a little unsteady on the ball there. Oh, well done there from Dan Kelly. Known for scoring goals, but also his hold-up play is very underrated. Chang looks to slip through. Garbanzo looked like maybe he got his heel clipped, but the referee's having none of it. Tells him to get up, continue. Fletcher sprays one out wide. Anichebe, that's so clever from the former Evertonian. And that whistle blows, and that is a foul, but it's going to anger some of the fans here at Blackbaud Stadium who are still thinking Garbanzo should have been whistled for having gone down just outside the West Brom 18. Fletcher out wide. That's Callum McManaman out wide. Oh, good last-ditch defending on the shot there. And it'll be the fourth corner of the evening for West Brom. In terms of sheer size, West Brom not with much of a tactical advantage here off of these set pieces. Charleston Battery very strong in the air as a team, very compact, organized. The back four plays well together. You'll see a man-marking approach from him here in the 18 as the ball gets whipped in, but can't beat the first defender. That's going to be disappointing from a West Brom standpoint. The ball gets misjudged. Kelly flying out onto the break. Doesn't have a lot of support. The only run he got was from Garbanzo. He's got Chang to lay it off to. Chang with the touch. Garbanzo, Portillo both closing in. That's a bit disappointing there from Chang. As you get a look at Sadio Berahino. Berahino to Gardner, and the whistle blows in favor of the home side. Charleston Battery acquitting themselves well here through the opening 14 and a half minutes of play. But back to Berahino. What a story that is for West Brom. Originally born in Burundi in Africa, Berahino moved to England at the age of 10 years old, didn't speak any English whatsoever, but was able to communicate and make friends, and very much through the game of soccer, where he joined a local club and then was spotted by a club scout. And he's grown up through the ranks of West Brom. Says he loves the club, would like to stay with them for as long as possible. But at just 22 years old and having already been called into an England side, you wonder just how long he's going to stay. But West Brom very dear to his heart, and you can tell he means it. And a heck of a goal scorer, too, as the ball gets put out wide. Chang lines one up and sends it into the lake. A little bit of alligator food there, as the crowd gives him a facetious round of applause. Well, 16 minutes into tonight's matchup, Battery looking sharp, getting into the attacking third, taking advantage of some West Brom miscues, but West Brom certainly controlling the majority of possession already with 4 corner kicks as well. Very high-level soccer at hand here at Blackbaud Stadium. It's another great ball from Fletcher. Passing the ball so well. Dawson. Berahino. Gardner. Anichebe. Berahino lays it off. Back to Dawson. Ball clipped into the back post where it's Anichebe. Anichebe, instead of putting the ball on frame, looks to just punch it back across the frame of goal. Berahino was of another mind, however, and the ball rolls harmlessly out of bounds. That's Adesnell Cooper back in goal for the Charleston Battery. Good to see him back. Of course, his last time we saw him on the field was during the Carolina Challenge Cup against Orlando. Seems like so long ago, as Kevin Corby out of St. Louis filled in very admirably. We'll likely see him tonight as well. The Battery possessing two very fine goalkeepers. A real luxury at this level. Mueller, Ferguson, Ajitai. Garbanzo looking to play in Chang. Can't find his man. And another tremendous ball from Fletcher. Berahino. McManaman. McManaman with the ball in, but headed well out from the Battery. Fletcher finds Morrison. Gardner back to Lescott. Good swarming defensive presence there on the right side of the midfield for the Charleston Battery. We mentioned Lescott. Lescott, a member of some very well-regarded Man City teams under Roberto Mancini, FA Cup winners, English Premier League title winners. You'll remember the day Sergio Kun Aguero rounding that QPR defender and hammering home what is undoubtedly the most famous goal in that club's history. Portillo out wide. Ball into Kelly. Kelly's unable to corral it. Mueller with the good possession here from the Battery. Their first real build-up, if you will. Really doing a good job to sustain possession there, but it's the old commentator's curse as Garbanzo loses it. Fletcher to Berahino. Anichebe with the run. Plays him, but that's very good defending from Mueller. Put the ball out wide now to McManaman. The step over, takes it to the line. Good ball in. Appeals for a handball. Referees having none of it. Ball dumped out of bounds for a West Brom throw. Fletcher hasn't missed a beat yet, passing at 100% clip. Incredible. That's Gardner. Gardner to Anichebe. Unable to settle. Ball rolls. Interesting, dangerous play there from the keeper. Handing possession back to West Brom. Fletcher. Ball out wide. Berahino dropping deep. Berahino, a player who likes to have the ball at his feet. He'll drop deep if he needs to get it. Gardner. Oh, a big run there from Garbanzo, but ball not played to him. West Brom content to sit back and let the Battery knock it around their own defensive third. As you see Ferguson. Oh, heavy touch there from Van Schaik. And it's West Brom on the break, and Ichibe coming in. Berahino, he's clinical from these spots. It's great defending though from Mueller. He sticks in, wins all ball. A captain's challenge, fantastic work there from the center back. Battery retained possession, that's Portillo on the ball. Portillo with a big ball out wide. Charleston looking to switch the point of attack. If you're a Charleston Battery fan, you have to be happy with the way they're playing through 23 minutes of action. One of the best teams in Europe on hand here tonight at Blackbaud Stadium. But the Battery looking every bit the part of a team that's ready to compete for a full 90 minutes. Ferguson. Agitai. Back to Ferguson. Battery showing good patience in their build-up. As Berahino finally comes up to press. No one home, though, for the Battery as Lescott coolly heads back to Myhill. Fletcher. Fletcher loses control, and it's the Battery on the break. Chang, one-on-one into the box. Couple of step-overs, beats the defender, but he sends the ball over the bar. It was a golden, gilt-edged opportunity for the Charleston Battery. They're going to get a round of applause from the fans. It was a brilliant move, but you have to be honest and say he probably should have done better from that angle. Beat the defender one-on-one with the goalie. You have to put the ball on frame there, but it was a very good move from the Battery. 24 minutes in, looking sharp, and an uncharacteristic giveaway there from Darren Fletcher. Really the first time all night that he's put a foot wrong. Morrison. James Morrison, the longest serving player on this West Brom team. Become a bit of a club legend over the years. Very high work rate, but another giveaway. But this time the Battery will look to possess. It's Portillo. Portillo out to Mueller. As the ball needlessly given away there for a West Brom throw. Again, remember to follow the Charleston Battery on Twitter. That's at CHAS_Battery. Charleston Battery Director of Marketing and Communications, Dan Conover, and his communication team do a tremendous job on the social media front. Make sure to also visit charlestonbattery.com for everything you need to know about this terrific USL franchise. Portillo just mishits the big diagonal. Comes up a little bit short. And McManaman draws the foul. Morrison stands over the ball, but we're going to go ahead and bring a new ball into play. Referee takes a look, says, we can do better. A couple of empty seats you see on the broadcast really belies the atmosphere that we have on hand tonight. Wish you could get a big look at this main stand where the crowd is absolutely fever pitched here for tonight's matchup between the Battery and West Brom. Tremendous treat to have this English Premier League side visit us here in the Low Country. Darren Fletcher, Anichebe, so strong on the ball, but Ferguson acquits himself well. Unfortunately, the whistle had already blown, and this is a very dangerous area for a set piece. Be interesting to see who takes it. You know McLean will want it. You know Berahino wants to have a look at it. It looks like, after a rather brief conversation, McLean stakes his claim. This is a very good angle for a left footer. And you can see Cooper barking out orders at his four-man wall. May look to just whip this one in near post. Whistle blows. But the wall does its job. Ball back in. Van Schaik. Big ball out from Van Schaik. Good defending, though, from Dawson. Fletcher. Ball from Darren Fletcher into Berahino. Berahino with a good touch. Battery back in numbers. Anichebe. Berahino. Ball out to McManaman. McManaman whips one in. No one home, though, at the far post, as that rolls out for a for a goal kick. It's been a wonderful summer of soccer here in the United States as the U.S. women's national team won their third World Cup. And the Gold Cup now fully underway, where the U.S., after topping Group A, heads to Baltimore. Upstart Cubans. But here we have a great game for you as well. Battery, West Brom, Fletcher, out wide. McManaman cuts in on the right foot, doesn't quite get a hold of it though. Ball rolls out over the touchline, and it'll be another goal kick. Chang. Good ball out wide. It's good defending. Ball rolls out. Battery throw. It was a mid-table finish in 2014-15 for West Brom, who started out the season struggling a bit. Ball played in, claim from Boaz Myhill. Berahino looks to break. Of course, it's a good ball in. Anichebe. And that's a big ball in there. Oh, what a touch from Kelly. But the whistle goes up. Jolene Lescott. Out wide to Dawson. Anichebe nursing a little bit what looks like a bit of a knock to the quadricep as the West Brom training staff comes onto the field. We were talking about the 2014-15 year for West Brom. Like I said, a bit of a mid-table finish. Went undefeated in 5 matches at one point with massive wins over Man U and Chelsea. I believe both of those were at the Hawthorns. Of course, the 27,000 capacity stadium in the Midlands where West Brom plays their home football. But we're back underway here in a 0-0 game, 32nd minute. Entertaining end-to-end affair so far between West Brom and the Charleston Battery. Olsen to Morrison. Ball's misplayed. Prince with another good ball. Kelly standing over it now. Out wide. Kelly dropping deep. Heavy touch there, but it ends up working out for him as he's brought down about 25 yards from goal. So you see Justin Portillo lining it up. A talented free kick taker. Portillo is very good from set pieces. Dangerous area here. Can the Battery make their mark? 34 minutes in. Myhill directing traffic amongst the wall. The captain, Fletcher, organizing his men. Portillo standing over it. Fans on their feet here at Blackbaud Stadium. It's a good ball in, but it's just a little high and a little wide. Well hit, though, from Justin Portillo. And the Charleston Battery looking very good here through 34 and a half minutes of play. Manager Mike Anheuser will be very happy with what he's seen so far. Anichebe wins the header. Falls to the feet of Sean Ferguson. Ferguson out to Woodbine. Woodbine misplays the pass. Garbanzo tracking back. Morrison. Morrison with a big run. He's going to find Dawson out wide. Dawson in space here on the right. Whips a ball in. It's a good ball from Dawson, but defended well from the Battery. Berahino looks to bring it down. Finds Morrison. Morrison out wide to McManaman. McManaman beats Prince. Ferguson does well to head clear, but the danger's not gone. Oh, and it's a good ball across the face of goal, but Mueller does it. Heads out, and it's the 5th corner kick of the evening for West Brom. Charleston Battery have done a very good job of defending set pieces this evening, but you don't want to give a team like West Brom too many chances. Could come back to bite you. It's a good ball in, but Jolien Lescott will be whistled for the push. Goal kick. Adesnell Cooper, I mentioned it earlier, just back from injury. But Kevin Corby, the backup keeper, deputized well in Adesnell's absence. To the extent to which manager Mike Anheuser has a bit of a decision on his hand in terms of selection tomorrow evening versus Wilmington. You go with the hot hand. Portillo. Prince. Ball out wide. Agite. Chang. Oh, it's a good move from Chang. Clever stuff, but defended well by the England international Dawson. Berahino, space to turn. Looks to slide in Anichebe. But that's the preseason. Still working out the kinks. West Brom fresh in town from a match in Orlando, and prior to that they were in Salzburg, Austria. Playing 2 warm-ups. A bit of a preseason camp where they fell to Red Bull Austria. It's a poor ball there from Justin Portillo. Fletcher. Morrison. Out to McManaman. 3 bodies in the box for West Ham. Step over from McManaman on the wing. Ball to the far post. Sails harmlessly to the roof of the Battery goal. Goal kick. For fans of the Battery, make sure you visit uslsoccer.com for all the latest news and live stats. USL, of course, also has rolled out a new social media hub. Definitely worth checking out. And of course, as you are this evening, don't forget that all USL regular season and playoff games are available live, free, and in HD on YouTube. Connect with the USL YouTube channel today. 0-0 scoreline here, Blackbaud Stadium. So we enter the 40th minute of action. Charleston Battery have played very well as Kelly takes it down. Woodbine. Woodbine to Kelly. Prince. Back to Kelly. Been impressed with the Battery's build-up play this evening. Very good stuff as Van Schaik plays back to Adijai. To Ferguson. Ferguson to Mueller. Justin Portillo. The 6'4" center back, Ferguson, finds Van Schaik. Schaik to Portillo, gets the ball back quickly. Chang checks. Mueller. Battery very content to knock it around in their own half, bring West Brom out of their defensive shell. And the whistle blown there. No, I'm sorry. Play continues. Bit of a tangle up there between Dawson and Chang, but Garbanzo able to control. Morrison. Morrison, a steely midfielder. Morrison out to McManaman. McManaman been looking to take defenders on one-on-one throughout the course of tonight's game. This time opts to play the ball back to Morrison. Morrison finds Fletcher. Fletcher to Dawson. Dawson been given lots of space on the right. And that's a great battle there by Sean Ferguson with Anichebe. So strong, but Berahino looks in on goal, and Berahino slots home, and that's your opening goal of tonight's affair, and it came from where you thought it might come from. Sadio Berahino, the West Brom Youth Academy product. He's been in great form for this Midlands team as of late, coming off of a tremendous 2014-15 season in which he earned his very first ever strong, but Berahino
call-up.
looks in on goal, and Berahino slots home inside the 18, and he hammers home past the defenseless Adesnell Cooper. But I think if you're Tony Pulis, you have to like that strike partnership heading into this season between Victor Anichebe and Sadio Berahino. It's strength and speed. Anichebe, one of the most physically imposing strikers in the entire Premier League. And Berahino, the young gunner, loads of pace, still working on becoming truly clinical in that number 9 role, but we've seen him drop deep tonight. We've seen him play with the ball at his feet, and we saw him slot home. Just about 2 minutes left here in the first half. As the ball gets played backwards, it's dangerous, but it's well done, ultimately, from Mueller. Mueller looking unshaken after the goal by Berahino as it's Portillo. Portillo to Woodbine. Back to Portillo. Kelly. It's good work from Chang. Van Schaik to Kelly. Kelly with space. Garbanzo with the run at the far post. He's got Chang. He's got Portillo. He decides to go on it alone. But it's well defended by the World Cup veteran. Very solid defending there from Dawson. Well, a bit of a character moment here for the Charleston Battery. They'll need to dig deep, find that mettle, that spirit, stay composed. It's been a very good first half for Mike Anheuser's men. Should walk into the halftime locker rooms with their heads held high. It could have been 1-0 the other way, if not for a missed opportunity, albeit wonderfully self-created missed opportunity from Chang. Chang out of Havana, Cuba. Countrymen as with Javier Cordovez. And your goalkeeper, Adesnell Cooper. All three of them defected together. As you see, Battery player brought down in the attacking third. And the first yellow card is shown this evening. And it's shown to the West Brom captain, the former Manchester United midfielder, Darren Fletcher. But what a great opportunity here for the Charleston Battery to try to claw one back heading into the halftime break. Portillo stands over it. Van Schaik stands over it. Ferguson into the box, all 6'4" of them. So too is Mueller. It's a good ball in. Oh, unfortunately, just can't find a Charleston Battery player as the ball rolls out for a goal kick, and that should do it. And the first half ends. West Brom 1, Charleston Battery 0. But what a tremendous first half of play we saw here at Blackbaud Stadium. Charleston Battery full of spirit, full of fight. Unfortunately, a moment of class from Berahino proves the difference as we head into the halftime break. I'm Ryan Madden. We'll see you back here for the second half. back to Blackbaud Stadium, where it's the Bromwich Albion holding on to a 1-0 advantage over USL, the homeboys, Charleston Battery. It was an entertaining first half of play, marked by end-to-end action. An incredible atmosphere on hand here at Blackbaud Stadium. A couple of good opportunities. One big note, West Bromwich Albion dominating in possession and in set-piece opportunities. 6 corner kicks to 1. But this was the opportunity. 23rd minute, Chang, 2 step overs, one-on-one opportunity, sends the ball sailing. It happened so quick. He'll rue that miss. It was a great opportunity. You see Portillo spray a free kick, just a little high, just a little wide. But the opportunities kept coming from West Brom. This was McManaman. Good cut inside, ball played, and that was a spectacular job by Mueller to head over the bar. But eventually the Charleston defense did break as Mueller allowed Sadio Berahino just a little too much space to cut it on that lethal right foot. And he was able to hammer home past Cooper. And that was it. That was the difference. That was the decider as West Bromwich Albion managed to take a 1-0 lead against the Charleston Battery. I'll tell you what, though, folks, for those of you watching at home, the Battery were very strong in the first half. They put up a heck of a fight. They looked technically sound in all 3 phases of the game. The back four was compact, and it was organized. The midfield did well to try to dictate tempo and switch the point of attack. And you can see with Kelly up top, he's got 10 goals, 3 assists in all competitions this year. He's a heck of a player, and he's always dangerous both on the counter and in the build-up. So wouldn't be surprised to see the Battery have an opportunity or two to pull one back here. You never know. Wholesale changes on for both teams. Unlimited substitutions here in this friendly. But remaining on the field for West Brom, the big names, Darren Fletcher, the former Manchester City midfielder, a veteran, well regarded all over the world for his midfield exploits. He's talented, he's a cerebral midfielder, he pings the ball all over the field. Probably remember him from those European nights at Old Trafford only a couple years ago. Was he a mainstay in Sir Alex Ferguson's starting 11 with Wayne Rooney, Cristiano Ronaldo, Rio Ferdinand? It seems like ages, but it wasn't long. I remember an especially enchanting match that he played in 2007, maybe 2008, against Roma. Alan Smith was the first person to find the score sheet. Fletcher was tremendous that evening, playing alongside Michael Carrick as they dismantled the Italian outfit by a scoreline of 7-0, if I recall correctly. He's a magical player, but there's a lot of big names in this West Brom squad. You also see in the center defense, you see Jolyon Lescott. We talked a little bit about him. For a while, he was a starting center back for Roberto Mancini's Manchester City, starting alongside Vincent Kompany. He was on the field that day when Sergio Kun Aguero hammered home past QPR to send the Mancunians into absolute delirium and deliver their team their first ever Premier League title. But tonight, we are in Charleston, South Carolina. We are at the home of Charleston Battery, and it's a team that deserves their due. Second place currently in the USL Eastern standings. They're having a tremendous season, and we talked about it before the game a little bit. Although there may be a difference, and there certainly is a goal for a chasm in overall soccer quality between these two teams, and that certainly needs to be recognized. But a very interesting part, I think, of the dynamic at play here tonight at Blackbaud Stadium is West Brom are just kicking their preseason into gear. They're still 3 weeks away from the opening game as a beautiful ball gets played down the wing. That's number 9. IDA Brown, the 10 million pound man, One of the biggest signings in club history only a summer ago. But the dynamic that I'm talking about is West Brom still 3 weeks away from their opening match. They're very much a team just sort of getting the rust off, working the kinks out, still trying to find their form heading in to this upcoming Premier League season. While the Battery, a team that are absolutely on a beautiful run of form. They're mid-season, they're playing good soccer, and I think that difference between fitness and technique has really brought these two teams together today. As you can see, the ball fails to beat the first defender, always tough on a set piece, and that's a beautiful bit of skill there from number 18, Memo Rodriguez. Rodriguez tries to cut inside out of Wharton, Texas. He's 5'8", 145. Played last season with the Houston Dynamo of Major League Soccer. Some big news in Major League Soccer, a couple big European signings, of course. Many of you watching would already know, but Steven Gerrard, of course, made his debut for the Los Angeles Galaxy. What a pickup that is. The Galaxy always seem to be on the cutting edge. The model franchise in Major League Soccer. And along with Gerrard, they also signed Mexican playmaker Giovanni Dos Santos. Dos Santos, a part of that famed La Masia Youth Academy for Barcelona. Good move here from McManaman. Number 19. Oh, and that he brings down number 26 for the Charleston Battery. That's Austin Savage. I think he's lucky not to see a card there. Little bit of cynicism in that challenge, but he gets away with it. Referee says, continue. Sean Ferguson, we've talked about Ferguson. He's one of the most well-regarded up-and-coming defenders in USL. Very talented player. Memo Rodriguez, outside of the boot. Memo Rodriguez. Little bit of miscommunication there with Austin Savage. Austin Savage, a local product, a 5'9", 165-pound Charlestonian. Always good to see. So you see Savage try to bring down the ball there with his chest. Good work here from the Battery. Really talented stuff. And that's Memo Rodriguez. I'm sorry. That's Dante Marini. Dante Marini, 5'3", 135, a diminutive attacking player out of Chadds Ford, Pennsylvania. Does so well to win the ball back, cuts in on that left foot, has a go. Just fizzes by the post. Well done, though. Van Schaik mistimes it, but Griffin's there to back him up. It was an imperative, these are imperative substitutions for the Charleston Battery, who face a massive test tomorrow against the Wilmington Hammerheads. Really big matchup for the Battery, who, like we said, are holding on to second place in the USL Eastern Division, just 2 points ahead of the Richmond Kickers. They need to hold on to that lead if they still want to contend for the title. And tomorrow night's home test is a big one. But there is precedent, certainly for Charleston, to think that everything's going to be all right, as they've gone 13 months since their last league home defeat. It's an amazing statistic. McManaman. Oh, tries to Meg Ferguson. But the 6'4" defender's a little bit too good for that, not having any of it. And there you see Kevin Corby, 6'2", 205 keeper out of St. Louis, Missouri. And for someone who went to the University of Missouri, that's a sight for sore eyes. Corby, tremendous in relief for Adesnell Cooper, who injured himself a little earlier in the year while playing Orlando City at the home-hosted Carolina Challenge Cup. Oh, and it was a good ball from Savage. Unfortunately, Javier Cordovez out of Havana, Cuba, caught between two minds on the run, and the ball rolls tame past Julian Lescott. A lot of familiar faces on the field here for West Brom. And they'll get big minutes because they need fitness. That's what this is all about. 3 weeks away from their opening day fixture in the English Premier League. And they want to be match sharp. Part of being match sharp is having minutes under your belt. And that ball just played out wide, little heavy. Header won well there. Van Schaik to throw. Passes up the responsibility to Quentin Griffith out of Antigua and Barbuda. One of those small Caribbean CONCACAF member associations, of which the CONCACAF Gold Cup in full form. Quarterfinals set to begin tomorrow. All the big names are there. The United States, Mexico, the upstart Trinidad and Tobagans. Forrest. Griffin with a rip from deep. You can see what he was trying to do. He puts his laces straight through it. Wanted to test the keeper, but he sends it high wide. And slightly handsome. It's an absolutely beautiful night here in the Low Country, one of those humid Low Country summer evenings. The fireflies will be out. The Ashley and Cooper Rivers calm. And it's a big run in from McManaman, but Ferguson does well. If you haven't been to Charleston, South Carolina, you're just not living. Absolutely one of the most beautiful cities in the world. Advantage played. Shot sent over the bar. End-to-end action here 9 minutes into the second half. But if you have not been to Charleston, South Carolina, it is a place that needs to be put on the bucket list. Constantly rated by Condé Nast and Travel and Leisure magazine as one of the finest cities, not just in the United States, but in the world. The peninsula, a little jewel here in South Carolina. The only thing better than the soccer in Charleston is the food. And if you haven't tried it, well, add it to the list. Van Schaik to Marini, back to Van Schaik. That's a big diagonal ball out wide, but it's going to sail over the head of Quentin Griffith. See Wofford University product Forrest Lasso chasing down the ball here. Replaced Mueller at halftime. So much good collegiate soccer talent comes out of this part of the country. Of course, here locally, Ralph Lundy's men at the College of Charleston. Set for a big year this year. Always difficult non-conference schedule, but that's only amplified by a Southern California road trip that'll see the Cougars play the likes of the UC Santa Barbara Gauchos and former U.S. men's national team head coach Steve Sampson's Cal Poly Mustangs. Battery in here on the break. Good ball in. Falls to Griffin. Griffin with the shot, and he puts it away. And would you believe it?
The Charleston Battery tie the West Bromwich Albion 1-1. Boyd absolutely hammers home at the near post and sends these Charleston fans into delirium. It's a moment he'll never forget. Going up against one of Europeans' brightest, you can see the ball. It gets a bit of a lucky bounce, but there is nothing lucky about that. Puts his laces straight through it. What a beautiful finish that is from Navion Boyd, the Jamaican, who spent last season at Tivoli Gardens. But he's here in Charleston now, and he is making an impression. Match tied 1-1. But you see that replay and the work of Dante Marini along that wing with the ball at his feet, striking a diminutive yet menacing presence. Dribbles in, finds space, looks to play the ball square, gets a touch, and then Boyd hammers home. What a moment for the Charleston Battery. What a moment for fans in Charleston, South Carolina. And it's game on. Good ball from Boyd. Marini. Marini with a clever 1-2. Marini through, ball stuck. Gets the ball stuck under his feet, but what a play. As the Charleston Battery gets set to take their first corner kick of the evening. Good spell here for manager Mike Anheuser's boys. Really applying the pressure. Ball whipped in, cleared by Lescott. And won back quickly by the Battery. Nice round of applause there for the fans, appreciating the work rate. Oh, it's well done there. And he's still through. Austin Savage with the ball square. Woo, a great opportunity. It was Javier Cordova's at the near post. As Boaz Myhill does very well to get low and make the save. Great stuff here from Charleston, dictating tempo, controlling possession, switching the point of the attack. Looking the better side, a true compliment. That's a great ball, though, through from Fletcher. McManaman. You see that ball played in by Fletcher. Always quick to get his head up, look into the attacking third, and make that incisive ball. It's great stuff. Javier forcing Lescott to play it out here. It's Brunt. Fletcher. EDA Brown unable to control. We mentioned it earlier. One of the biggest signings in West Brom history. Just about 10 million pounds was EDA. Yet to make a huge impact at the Hawthorns. Forced to play the role of the impact sub with Anichebe and Berahino looking so sharp and really developing a proper strike partnership. It's a big ball in. Punched out acrobatically by Kevin Corby. So you see Woodbine there trying to make the big overlapping run, but the ball played out for a throw. It's been a good showing so far from Memo Rodriguez since coming onto the pitch in the second half. He's really injected a bit of pace and ingenuity along that left wing. Anheuser will like what he's seen from the 5'3" Chadds Ford, Pennsylvania native. Griffin to throw. Griffin trying to find Cordovas, but the ball rolls out for a goal kick. Sideline's active as West Brom looks to make a substitution. That's Liam O'Neill set to come on. Whistle blows. O'Brien Woodbine called for the foul. And it's a double substitution for West Brom as number 20, Liam O'Neill, comes on for the captain, Darren Fletcher. Gets a well-deserved round of applause from the Charleston faithful. Also coming on is number 36, Adil Habby. Habby coming on for Callum McManaman. McManaman was very lively tonight, looked sharp in all but his finishing, as Ferguson is taken out by number 23, Gareth McCauley. McCauley pleading his case, although I'm not sure he has much to say about that one. A 1-1 game here at Blackbaud Stadium, with this courageous band of Charleston Battery players putting up a great effort against English Premier League side West Bromwich Albion. Ferguson heads down to Griffin. Griffin turns, plays a searching ball up, and then Ferguson called for the foul, and he knew it. Just in time for Liam O'Neill to get his first touch of the game. Boyd with the header. Good work there by Woodbine. Oh, and that's, well, he's unlucky there, Woodbine. Looked like he may have had his run impeded. Ferguson plucks another one out of the air. So impressed with Sean Ferguson. A real stalwart here in the back line for the Charleston Battery. So good in the air. Underrated with the ball at his feet. Sense of positional awareness, second to none. Very, very good player. Bright future here for the Charleston Battery. Another big diagonal. That's about the third time that big switch ball has been played out of bounds here on Boyd's side. But you like the idea. O'Neill. Craig Gardner. Gardner to O'Neill. O'Neill to Jakob. Back to Jakob. Ball gets put out wide. Very good ball into the back post, but it's good defending as well as Griffin plays it safe. Sends the ball out for another corner kick as the battery live to fight another day. something you like to see in a defensive player. Just putting the ball out of bounds. You don't have to be fancy. You don't have to do anything overwhelming with it. Just be safe and secure in your decision making. As that corner kick gets played too far on the back post, and if they can break, if the Battery can break quick, they can do so in numbers. Boyd making a big run to this far post, and he slips a great ball through. Battery in on goal, but it's an amazing tackle by the West Bromwich defender. He absolutely gets all ball. Referee makes the perfect decision, but what an impressive counterattack that was from the Charleston Battery. So incisive. The decision-making was perfect. The run was tremendous. Only a last-ditch tackle from the West Bromwich center back saved what could have been the go-ahead goal. Charleston Battery, you have to say, over the last 13, 14 minutes, the better team. Another ball in from Memo. Back post. Unable to get enough of it. On the header from Forrest Lasso, the Wofford product, but the referee adjudges that Boaz Myhill actually caught the ball and then took it out of play with him. So it's going to be a corner kick for the Battery. It's a team in the ascendancy. Ball whipped in. Boyd brings the ball down. Well, he had visions of grandeur dancing in his head. It would have been a Sports Center top 10 moment. He brings the ball down and looks for the volley. Unfortunately, he's just unable to get his head over it and sends it high into that Charleston sky. But here we are in the 68th minute at Blackbaud Stadium on a beautiful night for soccer here in the Low Country. And it's one of the game's real heavyweights, West Bromwich Albion, being put to the task against the Charleston Battery, second place in the USL East Division. But you got to say, punching above their weight class tonight. As the whistle blows, Boyd goes tumbling. Brunt petulantly kicks the ball. And is given a bit of a talking to there from the referee. We have had a substitution. We'll get you that update as soon as we can on the West Brom side. Out of the game is Julian Lescott. We'll let you know who's on for him as soon as we have it. The ball cleverly taken away there from Liam O'Neill. O'Neill plays it wide. That's Craig Dawson. And we're going to have a substitution here for the Charleston Battery as well at the next whistle. Nope, we're going to have it now. It's number 2. That's A.J. Cochran. Check that. Midfielder Cole Gullidge onto the field. And out is Van Schaik. Van Schaik strong in that holding role tonight. Thought he provided a little bit of steel, a lot of character in that center of the midfield. Always willing to put his body into a challenge. Lacked a little bit of incisiveness in the attacking third, but his job tonight was well done. And I think manager Mike Anheuser will be very pleased from what he saw. But what a test here for the young gunner Cole Gullidge on a night that he will never forget. playing against one of the world's best sides. Just 19 minutes remaining in this sensational end-to-end affair, where West Bromwich jumped out to a 1-0 lead, courtesy of Sadio Berahino, the Youth Academy product turned England international. But against seemingly all odds and with the deck stacked against him, the Battery managed a beautiful equalizer, and now we stand 1-1 here at Blackbaud Stadium. Golage gets his first touch, plays it out to Memo. Checks to Memo. Memo doesn't hand it over, and that's number 26, Austin Savage. Savage back to Memo. Memo looking to make a move along the line. Call goes against him. It'll be a West Brom throw. Big run down the sideline here. But it's a phenomenal challenge there from Griffith, and they got numbers. Beautiful ball played out wide to Memo. Memo so dangerous in these positions, will look to go one-on-one. He takes a touch, it's just a little bit heavy. And the 5'3" midfielder out of Chad's Ford just finds himself playing the ball over the touchline and out of bounds. It'll be a West Bromwich goal kick. For those of you wondering, your normal play-by-play commentator, Charleston Battery president, and overall soccer expert extraordinaire, unable to be on the call tonight. You can imagine with the Premier League side in town, he had just a bit on his plate. So they had to call in the B team. West Brom. Jakob. Gets it back. Ball played well. Dawson on the big overlap. Beautiful step over. But unable to control. Memo plays the ball. Savage. Savage back to Memo. Memo to Woodbine. Big ball open here to Boyd. Charleston switched the point of the attack. Griffin making the huge overlapping run. Charleston getting ahead in numbers. And that should be a whistle. And the call goes against Charleston. And that's one of those moments that, well, it'll leave you scratching your head a little bit. Or, if you're Memo Rodriguez, it'll leave you holding your head. Interesting decision there from the referee, but we move on. 75th minute of play, Blackbaud Stadium, English Premier League giants, West Brom taking on the Charleston Battery. Beautiful diagonal played, West Brom getting into the attack. Ferguson defending, Sean Ferguson, he's been absolutely tremendous tonight. Can't say enough about that young man. What a performance. 6'4", 200 pounds out of Rock Hill, South Carolina, looking like a Premier League defender tonight. Gigantic performance from him. Wonderfully done. Whistle blows. Lasso won't like it. But it wasn't the body, it was the use of the hands, and the referee blows the whistle. Set piece opportunity here now for West Brom. Be interesting to see who stands over it. Looks like it's going to be O'Neal. Good opportunity here for the left-footed O'Neal. West Brom bringing 5 into the box. with Jakob patrolling just outside of the 18. Ball played in. It's a shot on goal, but it's well saved. As you see Gareth McCauley on the ball. Ball gets played out of bounds. And the substitutions come in. A goalkeeping substitution for the Charleston Battery set to take place, where Bibe will come on for Kevin Corby. Also a switch in the center of the defensive back four for West Brom. We'll get you more information on that. And a well-earned break for number 16, Javier Cordovas. A very good performance from Cordovas. And onto the field to replace him is Alex Henderson. What a moment for him. Hope his parents are in the stadium tonight to be able to see their son take on an English Premier League team. It's a beautiful moment in a beautiful city. The lights shining bright on this perfectly manicured pitch here at Blackbaud Stadium. Oh, and it's a good dummy, really clever dummy there. Good 1-2. Clever stuff here from West Brom as the ball gets played to the back post. But that's been the story for West Brom. Beautiful play in the back, dynamic, shifting. The formation's been fluid, unafraid to pour numbers into the attack, but when it gets to that moment where you have to be clinical in order to make something happen, they've lacked just that little bit of incision, that match sharpness, something that can surely be attributed to this being their preseason tour. Still 3 weeks away from their opening match. This is still a team very much trying to find itself under Tony Pulis. And make no mistake, they will get much, much better. But part of the reason that they've been unable to find a certain level of success here tonight has been, well, it's been a tremendous performance from the Charleston Battery. A 1-1 game, 79th minute, playing against an English Premier League team. This is a big-time showing for Mike Anheuser. And this has been a really courageous display, I think, from this Charleston Battery team. They've poured their hearts and their souls into this match tonight. They've played with passion. They've been organized and compact. And I think if you're a Charleston Battery team, you have to be extraordinarily proud of what you've seen. They've done the league, they've done themselves, they've done their fans a very good showing. But there's still 10 minutes to play here in this game. Boyd. Memo. Marini. Still Marini. Woodbine to defend. That's so well done by Woodbine. Really tremendous work there. Not a lot of support in the box, but he's going to go at it alone. Charleston will need to fill that gap, though. Huge void taken away. Gullidge forced to close him down. Another great play by Sean Ferguson. Oh, Gullidge going to be whistled for that. Tries to plead his case to the referee, but just missed the ball in the challenge. Caught Gardner. Or was that Liam O'Neill? Referee blows his whistle. Very similar position to the last set piece, where West Brom decided to have a go on goal. Perhaps not happy with the height matchups they face against this very physically imposing Charleston Battery team. They're trying to keep a high line, defending. Ball gets played into the far post. Unable to find the marker. BB yells at his defenders, but that ball is in the back of the net. That's a goal, and that is a 2-1 West Bromwich lead. A disappointing defensive showing there from the Charleston Battery. Lots of pointed fingers as he's completely unmarked, and when you play against players of that caliber, you just can't give him that kind of space. Idier Brown finds the back of the net, and that'll be the end of the night for Sean Ferguson. I hope he gets a big round of applause from this Charleston Battery crowd, because that young man had one heck of an evening. Although he'll be a bit disappointed to come off right before the second goal. And checking in is number 21, Tran Phillip. Woodbine to Griffin. Griffin looks to play a ball down the line, trying to find Boyd. Cleverly disrupted by Jakob. Still Boyd. Boyd finds Savage, out of bounds. Battery throw. Griffin to take. Just about 6 minutes left in this game. Battery will look to pour numbers forward. But this deep into the bench, the matchup certainly favors West Brom as Idier Brown, the 10 million pound man, makes his way into the attack. One-on-one, cuts inside on the right foot, lays it off to O'Neal. O'Neal looks to find his right as well, plays it out to Gardner. Gardner drops it back, and they're going to force the Battery to come out and defend. O'Neal. Good ball into Brown. Brown gives and makes a run. Referee finds himself with the ball at his feet. Brunt. West Brom very happy just to knock the ball around, maintain possession. Up a goal, 5 minutes to play. Brunt. Brunt again. McLean. McLean with a high boot there, catches Boyd in the abdomen. Boyd goes down, and you can tell it hurt. Referee's going to have a talking with him. I don't think there was any malice in it, but that won't change the way Boyd is feeling at the moment as he took a cleat or a stud directly to the stomach. Gets a help there from his teammate, Griffith. And we're back into the run of play. 4 minutes remaining here at Blackbaud Stadium, plus a little bit of added time. And what's been an incredibly entertaining friendly tonight between USL Power, the Charleston Battery, and a team known all around Europe, the 5-time FA Cup champions, 1-time English top flight champions, long before it was known as the Premier League. West Bromwich Albion. So much talent on display here this evening. It's been wonderful stuff from both sides. Battery will look to pull one back in here, but pace has considerably slowed since West Brom got the go-ahead goal. On a corner kick header from Idier Brown. McLean. Brown, unable to control. Lasso. Woodbine. Back to Lasso. Lasso tries to play a route one ball. Looking for Austin Savage before Henderson gets mauled in the center of the park. Memo into Henderson. Henderson tries to slip Savage into space just inside the 18 before Myhill comes out to coolly collect. Well, we're just 2 minutes away from the full 90 here at Blackbaud Stadium, and what has been an extremely engaging match between the Charleston Battery and West Brom. Valiant performance from the Battery so far, and certainly there's time left to play. They may yet grab an equalizer. But even if they don't, I think that Battery players, fans, coaches, and front office staff alike will be very, very happy with the courage that this team showed tonight, playing against a team with superstar names. As the ball well played in there for Marini. Unable to pick out Boyd, though. Then Liam O'Neill carelessly sprays the ball out. That should be a handball. Referee didn't see it. Referee points to his leg. The other 5,000 people here say, no, sir. It's a difficult job being the man in the green shirt, though, I tell you what. And and that should be a whistle. The whistle has to blow that time. As Cole Golig, first time we've really got a chance to call his name tonight, springs free onto this near side counterattack. And this is a good opportunity. We're into the 89th minute. And the Charleston Battery with a golden opportunity off of a set piece here. (2-1) West Bromwich Albion lead. Marini stands over the ball. Numbers pouring forward for the Charleston Battery. Fans on their feet. West Brom screaming instructions, looking to mark up. Can Marini find somebody? Big moment, high drama here at Blackbaud Stadium. It's a ball in, and it just pings off the crossbar. I don't think he meant it, but it counts all the same, and the referee points corner kick. We are into extra time here. And wouldn't this just be the script of all scripts? Good ball played in, but also cleared well from the West Brom defense. Referee has a look at its watch. Not much time left now. The long throw going to be deployed here from the Battery. We'll see just how far into the box he can get it, though. It's well done, but still picked out by the first defender. Ball goes back in, but the whistle blows, and it's a foul on this Charleston Battery squad. That could do it, and that is it. Well, it perhaps was the expected result, but it was not in the expected manner. West Brom put to the sword this evening by a valiant Charleston Battery team who looked every bit the caliber and the class as their Premier League counterparts. But as it is in high-level soccer, it only takes a moment, and that moment came off of the head of Idier Brown, whose second half header was the difference. Tremendous display here from the Charleston Battery. They played with courage. It was a valiant showing, and they've done their fans and their city proud, but it wasn't quite enough as they fall 2-1 to the West Bromwich Albion. I'm Ryan Madden. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Heck of an evening. We'll see you next time at Blackbaud Stadium.